Hello, everyone. I'm truly thrilled today. I've got a very inspiring lady with me. She is the founder of the Bombay Balance. She's also a wellness curator and a meditation guide. So, she's doing such amazing work with all her clients. And today we're going to share some insights on her journey. Without further ado, welcome Shama to this podcast, to the new episode. I'm truly thrilled to have you with me today. So I want to begin with immediately, know a little bit about your early life and what was the reason starting the Bombay Balance? A little bit on that.
Sure. Thank you, firstly, for having us here, Siddhant. It's amazing work that you're doing as well, and we're really thrilled to be here. Um, so, with Bombay Balance, it actually was born really from, I think, my own need for stillness in this fast-paced city that, we're living in. And, being a student of meditation for many years, I found it very restrictive that, one had to go to sort of like a retreat space to experiences or spiritual practices, really. And so what we wanted to do was make this more for like a city life format. And so Bombay Balance was really born from that need of, you know, how do we kind of bridge the gap between the burnout and, people sleeping better, feeling less stressed, and just build a vision around something that, people have an access to sort of, access the same sort of balance that, I was experiencing through all my spiritual practices. And
Right.
so Bombay Balance was really born from that sort of space.
Okay. When you start anything, there's a lot of challenges, there's a lot of obstacles, how do you overcome obstacles and, how do you face life, in a positive manner through your community?
Yeah. So obstacles, I think the big one for us is community. I think life kind of throws a lot of learning curveballs and challenges to all of us. And what I find is that when you have like-minded people sharing a similar journey, and sometimes we can be so lost. And when you have a space, a safe space to share and connect and communicate, I think that sort of really helped me sort of build the space for Bombay Balance as well.
Okay. It's a unique name, Bombay Balance. How did you come up with that? What is the story behind that? And what,
Yeah,
according to you, the balance in today's fast-paced life means to you?
yeah, really good question. Actually, with that, Siddhant, we sort of wanted, the name sort of reflects everything. Bombay, as you know, has all of this movement and, the hustle and bustle of the city. Everyone's really out there kind of trying to, work through life and relationships and so many different things, and real restoration for the body. So the idea was to not escape the city, but to sort of soften in the chaos, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Okay. And how is Bombay Balance different from traditional gyms and wellness studios in today's time?
Yeah, so I think Bombay Balance, we want, it's more like a movement and not like a very fixed sort of format, or, we wanted to keep it very fluid. We don't have any fixed locations and things like that. We're exploring different exciting locations as well to take this experience to unexpected sort of spaces as well, like fashion stores, gyms, and cafes. We want to really take create awareness in all of these spaces as well, and sort of curate immersive experiences around sound, movement, stillness, breath, connection. I think those are like the core sort of pillars of what we're trying to do.
Okay.
That's really how we would differentiate it from different spaces in the city.
You normally
So
combine,
very fluid. It's very.
got it. You normally combine Eastern and Western wellness practices. What is your go-to rituals, from
Mhm.
each?
Yeah. So, for me, my go-to rituals are mainly, the course that I teach comes from a very ancient practice, which is rooted in transcendental meditation. meditation. So there's a lot of Vedic wisdom that is incorporated and integrated in that. So my go-to ritual number one is the meditation that I do. It's a transcendental, silent-based, mantra-based silent meditation practice,
Okay.
and that's just a game changer. It's a 20-minute twice daily practice, and it's really about just sitting on the chair, and you can really do it anywhere, anytime, at any place, literally on your bed or your sofa, in the car, in traffic. So I'm always like, that's my go-to whenever I'm feeling stressed, or feel like I'm sort of needing a little pick me up. That's the best one that I can sort of go to.
If today I see Shama and her brand, the Bombay Balance, probably 5 years down the line, what is the vision do I see? Where do I see where you have set certain targets for yourself, or, what is that vision that you're really, really wanting to achieve?
Yeah, with Bombay Balance, I think, we really wanted to become into a lifestyle sort of platform, Siddhant, for modern wellness. And, beyond the different events that we're doing, we want to expand into sort of different rituals where we are expanding into an intention. I think that's what we really want to focus on. And we really want to become the sort of go-to um platform or ecosystem for conscious living in India.
Okay. I'm sure you must have had so many customer experience and client experiences. Is there any kind of a fulfilling feedback you've received, someone from your community which you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there are so many, really, honestly, but just recently I had this young girl, 23-year-old, was going through, she had very, very overwhelming thoughts of almost kind of it was borderline sort of suicidal, and she came for one of our sound sessions, and our signature instruments that we use is the gong,
Okay.
and very, very powerful resonant instrument, very old, very primal sort of sound, and it sort of brings up a lot of um, stagnant energy, and sort of brings up a lot of unwanted emotions and feelings, and it was really fulfilling to so that was a really one of the most fulfilling experiences that we had recently.
Okay. Tell me something, what is the kind of advice would you give someone, trying to find a balance in chaos?
I think that for us, standard, it's so hard to sort of kind of live in this crazy hustle that we're living in every day. And what's important is to kind of integrate a few tools that we sort of also teach in some of our sessions. But I think breathing is a big one, like kind of if you can integrate that before your pranayam, and before your meditation, and then just sort of really just giving yourself the time first thing in the morning before you get into your
Yeah.
day, of just settling in and grounding, and not really getting into the fight or flight mode instantly, because we all can get so overwhelmed with
Yeah.
life, and uh, I think having these in your pocket is such an important sort of yeah, space to be in.
What you said is totally so correct. I also totally believe, me time is very important in today's time. Unless you don't have that me time, see, everyone's busy in their own fast-paced lives, but you need to have that
Yeah,
certain time for yourself to, just connect with yourself. And that is very
totally.
important. And I think that is very important in today's time, especially, with so much stress around, so many things happening. So I couldn't agree with you more. So, and I'm so happy that you're doing something like this for the community, and you're helping and transforming people. So that's such a nice and a noble thing which you're doing. So kudos to you for all the things which you're doing.
Thank
Also,
you.
I want to know, there are a lot of women, I believe in women empowerment. So, there are a lot of women entrepreneurs, who want to
Yep.
start a career, want to start, their housewives. they want to build something on their own. They want to, they need some advice or some guidance. What are the kind of attributes, things one must have, especially for the women who want to start their own business?
What's missing really in the wellness? Are you referring to the wellness space
Yeah, the
particularly,
wellness space.
or is it
Wellness
just
space.
in the wellness space? Yeah, I think with that, Siddhant, I think what people are really hungry for is realness, right? I think you don't have to be a perfect sort of facilitator to lead anything in wellness. It's all about showing up honestly and showing up consistently and just holding space with nurture and with care. And I think that's what people come back for.
Right.
That's really what people come for.
Okay. So now it comes to a fun rapid fire section. Is just to know you more personally. I'm going to ask some quick
Yeah,
answers from your side. So
sure.
my first one is going to be, what is your favorite holiday destination to just unwind, and just to be by yourself if you need to be?
So I have two. One is Goa, obviously, because I love being in nature, and both my sisters are there, and it's a great one because I can just get away. And then Bali is the other one because I have a big community of friends there, and I sort of whenever I want to slow down, I kind of go there for a few weeks, and yeah, it's my go-to.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Bombay mornings or Goa sunsets?
Goa sunsets for
Okay.
sure.
A book or quote which changed your life?
A book or quote that changed my life. The book, The Untethered Soul.
Okay.
That's the one that I go back to all the time. Yeah.
Meditation or movement? What comes first to you?
As a ritual,
Yeah.
yeah. For me, meditation, definitely. Yeah.
What's your guilty pleasure for food?
Wow. Chocolate cake.
Okay.
Anything chocolate, really.
What is your favorite genre of music and something which you've been humming to lately?
So there's so much. I'm such a music buff, but I'm loving Face Soul. It's this artist that has a really beautiful ambient sort of sound with like these gorgeous lyrics. So yeah, that's sort of on my loop right now.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe even music therapy plays a big role in life, in terms of reducing stress levels, So especially like for me, when I'm at work, and I'm a little bit stressed, I just put on some natural waves or, nature sounds or things like that, which really soothes me down. Is there some kind of a philosophy
Yeah.
behind that, in terms of a music therapy?
Yeah. Um, yeah, totally. And so, which is why sound is such a big part of what we do here at Bombay Balance, because sound has been with us, since the ancient primal times. And for any instruments, if you see with the sound sessions that we do, and when people host other different sessions, they have this very deep resonance sound to it. So, like I was mentioning, the gong has been a
Yeah.
very, very powerful one that we use in our sessions. But binaural beats is another big one, which one can access through Instagram, sorry, through Spotify, and they sort of are recorded on a certain frequency. It's
Okay.
which really sort of penetrates into a deep cellular level in the body, which kind of triggers the stress and fatigue to kind of release from the body as well. So I'm not surprised if you're listening to music which
Yeah.
has that effect on you, and especially nature sounds, and all of this is, such a great way and great tool to sort of use whenever one is feeling stressed.
Okay. So coming back to the rapid fire round, okay. What is that one thing that you've dared to do but you've never been able to do it?
Skydiving.
Okay. So you've never done skydiving?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've not, because I refused to jump off the plane when all of my siblings were doing it, and I refused to do it. I was like, nah, I can't do it, but I will do it one day once I get over that fear. But yeah,
Okay.
that's been one of those
What is
experiences.
your favorite cuisine and what, according to you, you cook really well?
So I love a good khichdi, to be very honest, because I really believe Ayurveda has such a profound effect on your body. So my go-to is always a good khichdi. I mix it up with different vegetables, and I make different sort of concoctions with it. But anything with Ayurveda, simple home cooked food, seasonal food, I think that really works well with the Indian environment as well, rather than having exotic sort of vegetables which are not really fresh and
Yeah,
all of that. And for me, what I cook is, I love making these moong dal sort of pancakes that I make, but I add like cheese and
right.
sometimes I add fancy things to it. So yeah, there's one of those.
Like when so basically I had type 2 diabetes, which I reversed. And,
Yeah,
and at that time also, I used to try and cook myself, making different ingredients, probably changing maida with ragi. And, I'm craving a pizza. So I used to
yeah,
make like with ragi pizza and then put tofu and the homemade tomato sauce,
amazing.
So I think that playing with ingredients is a key, how you can, make even your balanced daily diets for yourself. So as you rightly said, there's so many good ingredients in India, and you just read the labels and you try and get organic ones, and you can make so many things, and nothing like home
So
food at the
much.
end of the day. Nothing like
Nothing like home food. I agree.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last rapid fire question would be, what is according to you the one big difference between the millennials and Gen Zs of today?
Millennials and the Gen Zs of today. Wow. I think the Gen Zs are really, this is what we're sort of discovering and exploring as well. They're so much more in tune with and connected with themselves, because they're getting more aware of wellness being such a key essential part of their daily lives. And it's such an amazing shift to see, because I feel like millennials were in and out, but the
Yeah,
Gen Zs are really embracing it. And if like alcohol has been completely out of their, not completely, but a lot of people are not sort of, so a lot of self-awareness has
right.
kind of creeped into the, in the Gen Z sort of space, I feel, in a big way.
Yeah, but also feel that they're more risk takers than what we were back in the day. So I think they are more
They were
fearless.
risk takers.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
they're more
Totally,
fearless.
totally.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So thank you
Yeah,
so
no,
much, Shama. That comes to the end of my rapid fire round.
thank you so much, Dan.
So
That was so lovely.
and also, the things which you're doing with Bombay Balance, the community which you're leading, it's such a positive thing. Keep doing this, and I
Thank
look
you.
forward to joining one of your sessions really soon. Uh,
Please, we will be so happy to have you, and let us know whenever you can make
Yeah,
it,
and
and
definitely
hope
when you keep
we
spreading the
meet up
positivity, which
soon.
is something which is very important, especially it's taught us also,
Yeah,
especially
need of yeah,
yeah, and especially in the Corona time also, it's taught us so many things, being positive and,
absolutely.
staying at home, and you can do so many things, so continue doing that great work you're doing. Wishing you the very best for your future. Keep shining, keep smiling, and I'll see you soon
Thank you.
on the other side. And
Thank
once again, thank you for this quick chat with you, which was so enlightening. I'm inspired. So I'm sure that all the viewers
thank
watching us today has also been truly inspired. So thank you once again.
you. Beautiful. Thanks so much for having me, Siddhant, and thank you for sharing this space with us. Thanks a lot.
Bye bye.
Thank you.